with our career trial attorney and legal analyst coming on right now, Wendy Patrick. Wendy, thanks for being with us. I know the Department of Justice said one of the judge's former president's legal team submitted as candidates for special master would be acceptable. So, I mean, considering that the DOJ is actually agreeing with one of the candidates that the Trump legal team picked out, this is another big victory.
You know, it's a victory. It's also progress, Adrienne, and I think both sides want some progress in this case. It is true that they have agreed on this 78-year-old, who, by the way, is still sitting by assignment, which is in contrast to some of the retired judges that were suggested by the DOJ. But I also have to tell you, you know, it is progress in the sense that they've come up with a name that's agreeable, which really takes a lot of pressure off the judge. But there are still so many unanswered questions. Who pays for this? What's the timeline? Remember, the Department of Justice wants it done by October 17th. The Trump camp wants 90 days. What is the special master supposed to be looking at? That is a huge point of contention. Remember, there are classified documents, according to the DOJ, that they don't want reviewed. And, of course, the Trump team very much disagrees with that. They have really called this a document storage dispute. That's what they said in their moving papers, rather than a case of active concealment. So questions remain.
I have a question. As we've been talking about, the judge in this case ruled the federal government cannot investigate those seized documents until the special master has reviewed them. Then there was talk that the DOJ would appeal that review. So did any of that happen, or is any of that happening?
Well, that's what the DOJ said, pretty much giving the judge an opportunity to review her decision. And we've got no indication that she's reversed her decision yet. If she doesn't, or if she doesn't modify it in any way, they're going to appeal to the 11th Circuit. But, Adrienne, there are 6 Trump appointees on the 11th Circuit, so there's no guarantee they'll be successful there, even if they appeal it. But I also have to say that judges don't want to be overruled. They want to do the right thing the first time. So any opportunity they have to review their decision, they'll take it. But so far, we don't have any indication that's exactly what's happening here.
And Trump's team actually claims that there is no evidence the seized documents are disclosed to anyone, which is, you know, obviously something that was considered a national security risk. So how difficult will it be for the DOJ to prove that there was the potential for these documents to be jeopardized?
Well, there's always the potential, but remember, that is one aspect of the investigation that the judge has allowed to continue, is making sure that there's, you know, this national review, making sure nothing was compromised. That's very different than allowing the criminal investigation to continue. That's been put on pause. So this judge has said, not really, no, you can't, but not so fast. First, she appointed, of course, the special master. However, are those two really distinguishable? That's been the argument that's been made, is you can't really say one's going to continue without the other, because we're talking about, in some sense, the same material. It gets complicated, but again, we're making progress, at least by the agreement on a name of somebody who could be the special master.
I have one more quick question here. If it's just a matter of where the documents were stored, even if there was no other wrongdoing, could former President Trump face any charges?
Well, he could, because he wasn't supposed to have them at Mar-a-Lago, is the allegation. And it's a complicated analysis, because when you have 3 federal charges that are being suggested, each with different levels of culpability, it becomes a question of intent. And that's what you already see both sides battling out in their court filing. So the Justice Department would probably say yes.
All right. Thank you, Wendy Patrick. Obviously, this is something we're going to keep talking about. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.